welcome to World is One News. I'm Aisha Sindhu.
And I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. We are standing by for BJP President Amit Shah's press conference, but you're watching the continuous coverage here on WION of the state elections, Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. And we'll give you all the lowdown on the BJP's win and the Congress's loss in both states. But before we go to our colleague Mohammad Saleh, Aisha, we're discussing about the fluctuating fortunes of the BJP this morning as the votes came trickling in. What do you make in hindsight? How do you look at the events of the last couple of hours?
Well, it's been up and down, Ramesh. Of course, we've seen how there was a time when the Congress suddenly became neck and neck, and we saw the commentary on social media changing tremendously because from the BJP completely sweeping these two states, it became a fight not in Himachal Pradesh but in Gujarat, which everyone sort of assumed in many ways that is going to go along the path of the exit polls. Before we go any further, though, let's take a quick check on the headlines we're tracking right now. We're going to take a closer look at the BJP's a victory in both these states and what exactly it means for them going ahead. But the headlines first.
Narendra Modi wins the prestige battle in Gujarat as the BJP is voted back for a fifth time in the key electoral state. Despite demonetization and the hiccups of GST, Gujaratis choose to repose their faith in Narendra Modi.
Hardik Patel's high-octane Patidar agitation falls flat. Despite drawing lakhs of people to his rallies, Patel fails to swing Gujarat away from Prime Minister Modi.
Rahul Gandhi's elevation as the president of the Congress party fails to change the fortunes of the party in its first electoral contest. The Congress nearly manages to improve its tally from 2012.
The disruptors, as they were called, Jignesh Mevani and Alpesh Thakur, win in their respective seats, but caste-based agitations fail to make the kind of impact that they were expected to against Prime Minister Modi's campaign focused on development and Hindutva.
And it was BJP's show all the way in Himachal Pradesh as well. The Saffron Party is all set to win well over 40 seats and will oust the Congress party, which had been battling anti-incumbency in the state.
And it's been as thrilling as watching a T20 cricket match. Monday Mania doesn't get any better than this. The BJP has won both the states of Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh, but the surprise was the fight that the Congress managed to put up in the state of Gujarat. Leads are in for all of Gujarat's 182 seats, and the BJP has just about enough to hit the majority mark. The majority mark in the Gujarat Assembly is 92. The Congress is leading in over 70 seats. That's a big gain for the party because this morning when counting started, the contest seemed headed for a photo finish. 1 minute the BJP was ahead, the next minute the Congress was surging. The markets crashed 800 points on opening but recovered once the trend settled in post 10 in the morning. They're now trading in the green. Meanwhile, Gujarat's Chief Minister Vijay Rupani also faced a tough fight but managed to retain his seat in the end. Winning Gujarat, his home state, is also a matter of prestige for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We saw him a short while ago entering Parliament and flashing a victory sign as he did. Now, the Congress's Sharmishta Mukherjee summed up how important Gujarat is for the Bharatiya Janata Party by calling it the citadel of the BJP. The party has been in power in the state for 22 long years and has beaten the anti-incumbency wave.
All right, joining us live now is my colleague Mohammad Saleh. Mohammad, what do you have for us this moment?
Now, this is an election that will have far-reaching consequences. The fact of the matter is, as the build-up to this election suggested, this was a very acrimonious campaign, and now the results are out, and it appears that the BJP is the one which is all set to form the next government for the fifth straight time in the state of Gujarat. They've also got Himachal Pradesh as well. So what does it mean for the BJP? Let's take a look at it, from the various facets. Let's start with the economy here. This victory, of course, gives a license to Prime Minister Modi to push forth with bold reforms. Also, big ticket bills could be tabled in the parliament. Remember, leading up to this election, we had these reforms like GST and demonetization. So we can expect more such reforms, because even during his campaign, Prime Minister Modi had spoken about the fact that he's not someone who plays politics to win, but rather for the nation. And he is, of course, willing to take more risks, even if they mean electoral costs. Now, in terms of business, ease of doing business reforms could actually get a fillip. Now, if government is to further push anti-corruption agenda, this also is likely to be stepped up by Prime Minister Modi, and more fiscal consolidation will be in store. As to how exactly this will play out over the course of the next few weeks and months, this will have to be looked at. Let's also take a look at some of the other aspects. Now, in terms of what it means for the party, it is a big boost for the prospects of the party in the 2018 state assembly elections. There are several states which go in for assembly elections. In the state of Karnataka, which is going to be a tough battle for the BJP, Madhya Pradesh, and a few of the other elections, these are going to be key. And it's a big confidence boost ahead of the 2019 polls. The BJP solidifies nationally and across the state. So this is what this electoral battle means for the party. But there are other big questions which a lot of people and analysts are asking, because Prime Minister Modi somehow seems to be insulated from the costs which some other political leaders might have had to pay if they had gone ahead with moves such as demonetization and the hiccups which the rollout of GST has seen. Will it also mean a hardening of the Hindutva stance? Because on the one hand, there was development, but also Hindutva, the card of Hindutva, was something that was very prominent during the election campaigning. And also on the other hand, will key economic reforms, which are going to be difficult, which may cause a lot of pain for some people, will they in fact be pushed forward, because he has not exactly paid a political price for having seen through those reforms? These are, of course, the big questions. There are several implications for this, but for the time being, though, it is BJP which is in pole position. It looks more confident than ever, perhaps. But also what is interesting in this election, Aisha and Ramesh, is that the Congress, which had looked out of contention, appears to be slowly shuffling its way forward. It has done better than what it had done in 2012, but perhaps not enough to oust Modi in his citadel.
Mohammed, it's interesting you mentioned about the forthcoming assembly elections next year. We have 8 assembly elections in 2018, including but not limited to Karnataka, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. How would the Gujarat elections or the Gujarat verdict play itself out on the ground in the key state of Karnataka, which you have been following closely, Mohammed?
Right. Now, one of the facets that this Gujarat election is thrown up, Ramesh, is the fact that Modi somehow is, is somehow immune to anti-incumbency, which claims so many other political heavyweights. Because this is the 5th straight time that the BJP has won the election in Gujarat. They face massive anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, and also in Rajasthan, when these 3 key states go for polls next year. In the state of Karnataka, it is Congress. Siddaramaiah is the Congress leader. He's someone who is vastly popular, he's very charismatic. And the BJP there has not been able to manage to up its game. Yediyurappa is a Lingayat leader. He's been trying his best, of course, to try and claw his way back. But the fact of the matter is, he's someone who faces a lot of corruption allegations against him and does not have the same stature which Siddaramaiah does. And also the fact that when key senior BJP leaders have gone ahead and campaigned the state of Karnataka, they've not had the same kind of traction that they've had in the cow belt. And this, of course, will be a key factor. But it is an interesting election. You know, it's tough to call out as to what would happen in April 2018 when Karnataka, along with some of these other key states, go for the polls again. But at this point of time, it is BJP which looks like it is solidifying. But also, let's talk about some of the undercurrents, because Gujarat has, for the first time, brought forth, several aspects which perhaps were absent from the year 2014 till 2017. There is discontent. There is perhaps a certain sense of disenchantment which people have expressed, but that is not translated in people moving away from Narendra Modi and BJP in the state of Gujarat. Will it happen in other states is anyone's guess.
App was really speaking the focus point from the very beginning, Saleh and Ramesh, when we were talking about whether the Congress will be able to convert momentum into actual numbers. My colleague Pragya Jha is actually standing by right now from the state of Gujarat itself. Pragya, you know, back when the Uttar Pradesh elections were going on, there was this chant that took off about Desh mein Modi, Pradesh mein Yogi. But when it comes to Gujarat, it seems like there's only one man that seems to be getting all the attention, all the accolades, so to speak, and that is the Prime Minister, the same person at the centre, the same person in the state.
Absolutely, Aisha. So if it were not for Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, and his upbeat campaigning and his relentless and unending campaigning through the state, it has in fact managed to keep the BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, afloat. Because if you look at the kind of expectations and the kind of numbers that were put out by the Prime Minister, the mark of 155 in one of his rally, of course that was to, you know, prep up and keep the mood going. But with the numbers now stabilizing, you know, around say maximum to 103 or 105, that is under 110, it seems that there is some introspection that remains to be done here with the BJP, and the onslaught continues, but the level seems to have slowed down. And here with its own state, in the state where the Prime Minister belongs to, also for the Congress, you know, their motive really and their aim should have been to make inroads in 4 important cities here in Gujarat: Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Rajkot and Surat. Because if it were to, you know, if it were to disturb the BJP's apple cart, then they should have actually worked up, you know, to their urban voter base, which is in these 4 cities. However, in spite of the GST and in spite of demonetization, the BJP has managed to, you know, attract voters here in the city, in the urban vote base. And for Congress, it has worked well in Saurashtra region, and the Chief Minister has retained Rajkot, which is also an important city that way. So here again, not really translating into not voting for the BJP because of these economic reforms, but definitely by way of trio, that is Jignesh, Hardik and Alpesh, the Congress has been able to up its vote share from the last time. Also,
all right, we'll try to fix that connection with Pragya in Ahmedabad in a bit. But if I can bring back my colleague Jessica Taneja, who is standing by at the BJP headquarters here in New Delhi. Jessica, we were talking to Pragya a little while ago, and she was talking about how the vote share has dipped for the BJP. But that said, over the last couple of elections, we've seen the BJP tally come down from 127 in 2002 now to 99 at last count. So has that dampened the excitement somewhat in the BJP camp?
Well, certainly not, Ramesh. I don't think people even care about these statistics here, as far as I've observed. Here, the mood is all about celebration, the victory of Prime Minister Modi as well as Amit Shah here. People are not really looking into particular statistics. In fact, all the spokesperson, all the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, also inside here, haven't really taken this into consideration. Everything about for them today is about the victory that Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah had given to their party today in Gujarat as well as Himachal Pradesh, and that is talk of the entire the nation today, as well as the BJP headquarters here. The celebrations continue without even questioning the statistics or where the voter turnout was. I think the main question or the main excitement or happiness lies in the fact that Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah still own Gujarat the way they did earlier.
Absolutely. Stay with us, Jessica. Pragya Jha is back with us on the broadcast. Pragya, you mentioned, the disruptive factor. Alpesh, Jignesh and Hardik Patel. Alpesh and Jignesh both winning, but the movement itself, did that take a beating?
With the movement of the Patidars, also during the poll, when the exit poll results were out, we did observe the trend of counter-polarization, because by way of Patidars, the OBCs opted, also to go along with the BJP there in some factions of the vote, because the OBCs constituted 50% of the population of Gujarat here. So there was a trend of counter-polarization that was seen. However, with the BJP's votes even coming, just touching 100 as of now, what we've learned is just touched 100 so far. GSEs has also gone in with the Congress. So the rural belt of Gujarat has remained loyal to the Congress because traditionally also the 30 to 38% voter percentage, vote share in Gujarat has always gone to Congress. However, this time there is an upsurge of 4% here in the vote share.
Pragya, talking about how the BJP has fared in these elections in Gujarat, what's your sense, especially about the region-wise breakup of the BJP's tally, where the BJP seems to have done poorly in Saurashtra as compared to the Congress? So what are the BJP cadres talking about their so-called loss in the Saurashtra region, which was more than compensated in the southern Gujarat? But what about Saurashtra in particular? All right, Pragya, if you can hear me, I was wanting to ask you about how the BJP has fared in this election in Saurashtra in particular, where the Congress seems to have performed better than the BJP.
It's been gain for the Congress in Saurashtra region. Now also in the belts where farmer presence here in the state is optimum, including parts of Saurashtra. The farmers have opted, that's what the Congress also goes on to say, that they have opted to take sides with the Congress because of the reform, the economic reforms, because the farmers have had to face the music when GST, that is the goods and services tax, was put in place, because they were in a sort of an unorganized sector really when it came to their bank accounts, when it came to note bandi. So this has gained Congress, votes from Saurashtra, but this hasn't spoiled the music for BJP, because BJP has actually gotten its clutch the kingmaker cities, as I mentioned to you, Rajkot, Vadodara, Ahmedabad and Surat, because people were anticipating that Surat would be that city that would backlash, that would see backlash when it comes to the votes to BJP, because the community, the trading community, the diamond community was there, and discontent was rife, post-GST, post-demonetization in Surat. However, we see that in Surat city, the urban voters have still stuck to BJP, whereas the new voters, the first-time voters, may have opted to go with young leaders like Hardik, Alpesh, Jignesh, and they have experimented with the Congress. So the onslaught sort of continues, but there is a slowdown in the onslaught, and this actually could motivate and could actually up the morale of Congress' newly elected president Rahul Gandhi, setting him another chance for the upcoming 2019 general elections.
Absolutely, and in fact the noise around you, Pragya, almost raucous, so clearly everyone is in celebratory mode. We'll get back to you in just a second. Maybe that noise factor will go down a little bit. It's unlikely, but let's go across to Jessica Taneja, where things seem a little quieter now. Jessica, things seem to be settling in. The BJP is obviously taking stock of what's happened. And speaking of taking stock, we're hearing now, of course, that the BJP's chief ministerial candidate for the state of Himachal Pradesh has in fact lost PK Dhumal. That's the big election breaking news we have at this point. We'll get you more details on that in just a second. Jessica, but my question for you is, there was a lot that was made about the Congress's outreach to these three disruptor factors, Alpesh, Jignesh and Hardik Patel. In some ways, the BJP had this charge against the Congress for casticizing politics. That, they brought back this whole element of caste into politics. Do you find that interesting, given the kind of polarizing narrative we'd also heard from the BJP as far as its election campaign in Gujarat goes?
Well, Aisha, apart from the complications in the caste factor in this particular election, one cannot forget the fact that Jignesh has actually won today. And given the fact that it has played a significant role, but looking at the overall numbers, of course, BJP has taken them all. But a significant sort of development here and there, especially when it comes to, one of the activists like Jignesh, who actually won today, has sort of created a sort of a rupture of sorts where one can easily go out and say that, yes, this did play a role. And, of course, for other leaders as well. But I think this election was a literally different from what we had observed earlier. This election was more or less about scathing comments in the end. The agenda of development and other important issues in Gujarat was completely ignored. So one can see on how new dimensions and new ideas were not really pushed forward in this particular election campaign or this election victory. But what remained to see was how religion and other factors that played a much bigger role than actually actual factors which could have contributed to what Gujarat model actually looked like. So that really didn't play a role much. But yes, talking about the caste factor, of course it created certain disruptions where Jignesh of course had a clear win. But apart from that, BJP takes it all home.
Well, Jessica, do stay on where I'll bring our viewers up to speed with the latest tally coming in courtesy the Election Commission, where the BJP tally has now fallen to 98. That's 98 to the BJP, 78 to the Congress. That's the latest tally put out by the Election Commission. But these numbers can change in the minutes and hours ahead. That's the latest tally coming in from the Election Commission. 98 to the BJP, 78 to the Congress.
Right, so there was obviously there's been hectic activity ever since this morning. We were given to understand that counting actually began as early as 7:45 a.m. Today. We've been, of course, tracking all the developments from you starting at 6 a.m. IST, and lots has happened. The trends have changed. The BJP, from surging ahead, got itself caught in a neck-to-neck race with the Congress at one point in time, and now, of course, the results coming in, filtering in slow and steady, as Ramesh said. The ECI, the Election Commission of India, putting those numbers down to 43 for the BJP, 21 for the Congress in Himachal Pradesh. Meanwhile, in Gujarat, it's down to double digits for the BJP as of now, 99 vis-a-vis the Congress is 77. Let's listen in also to all the comments that have come in ever since the trends started making themselves clear. Listen in.
सब लोग जो सरकार को नहीं चाहते थे वो साथ में रहकर लड़े और सबने अपना योगदान दिया, लेकिन कुछ कमियां कहीं रह गई कि जिसकी वजह से हम सरकार नहीं बना पाए। जनता तो चाहती थी कि कांग्रेस सरकार बनाए, लेकिन वो जो कमियां हैं हमारी उसकी हम जांच करेंगे, लेकिन हम सब साथ में लेकर लड़े, उसकी खुशी है। और जो मैंडेट मिला है विरोध पक्ष में बैठकर एक रचनात्मक भूमिका अदा करना, वो अदा करेंगे।
Well, I think Congress has done brilliantly. This is Rahul Gandhi's effort that has actually brought about this change. It took the Prime Minister to postpone the winter session and reduce it to 9 working days and go on work there like a party worker, and he put Gujarat above the nation.
Right. So that's what's happening as far as the different reactions that have been coming in, Ramesh. And if I can quickly... All right, before we go any further, here are a couple more reactions that have come in.
All right, it is getting to 3 p.m. India time, and the latest tally coming in from the Election Commission is 99 to the BJP, 78 to the Congress. For the first time, the BJP falling below the 100 mark. This after climbing to a high of 127 in 2002. And over the years, its tally has reduced incrementally from 127 in 2002 to 117 in 2007 and 115 in the last election 2012. Now the latest tally, courtesy of the Election Commission, puts the BJP at 99 and the Congress at 78.
Right, so the nervous 90s, Ramesh, in many ways for the BJP. As you mentioned, it's the first time today that we've seen that number slip from the 3-digit mark to the 2-digit. But looking at the Congress's numbers, now 77 is not too bad at all, given what the exit polls were predicting. But is the Congress going to find its challenge now? We keep talking about the 2019 Lok Sabha general elections, but there are 8 state assembly elections coming up. You mentioned Karnataka a while ago, but Rajasthan is a key battleground for the Congress, given that there's a strong anti-incumbency factor working against the BJP. Do you think that it's now time that the ball is squarely in the Congress's court following what's happened today, and we're going to have to see whether that is converted into actual results?
Well, Aisha, clearly from the Congress's perspective, it will have to go back to the drawing board, as it were, to introspect and tweak its strategy going forward, especially, as you mentioned, the key electoral states coming up in 2018, those of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Karnataka, besides Meghalaya, Nagaland, Tripura and Mizoram in the northeast. Karnataka, the BJP will be looking to wrest that state from the Congress, whereas the BJP will have anti-incumbency to factor and contend with in the 3 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. It will be interesting to see whether the Congress can rebound from where it ended in Gujarat. But that said, it will have to revisit the strategy, especially in light of its reasonable performance in Gujarat and its loss in Himachal.
Absolutely, and reworking might just mean recalibration of a kind that the Congress has never seen in its long and hallowed history as far as this country goes. Let's, before we go any further, before we continue our coverage, let's listen in to some more reactions on the results today.
ये दर्शाते हैं कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का पूरे देश के अंदर कितनी इज्जत है और कितना बड़ा वर्चस्व है।
ये विकास की जीत है, विश्वास की जीत है और भारत की जनता ने एंटी इनकम्बेंसी और प्रो इनकम्बेंसी की परिभाषा को बदल डाला।
Right, Ramesh, we were talking a little while ago about, conversion and how that is really going to be the big challenge for the Congress. But speaking of Rahul Gandhi, speaking of him as in his new role as the president of the Congress party, as far as Gujarat goes, just looking at Gujarat in retrospect now, do you feel that the agenda was set in many ways by Mr. Gandhi? Tavleen Singh, the senior journalist who was with us on the broadcast earlier, said that in fact for the first time she found that the BJP was having to react to some of the tough questions that the Congress was asking of the BJP, specifically on its development model.
That's a very valid point, Aisha, but also some would say that the Congress was trying to become a clone of the BJP, trying to go in for a soft Hindutva policy. It may not have played to its strengths in Gujarat, and in hindsight, the Congress may have been better served by focusing on its core strengths rather than trying to catch up with the BJP insofar as soft Hindutva is concerned. But that, as I mentioned, introspection, revisiting their strategy are all things that the Congress will need to do going forward, especially in light of the key states going to the polls next year, including Karnataka, where the Congress is the ruling party. But that said, from the BJP's perspective, Aisha, there are chinks in the BJP armor, no doubt.
Right.
An over-reliance on Prime Minister Modi, will that keep the party in good stead in the next elections, where the elections are due? Time will tell. But at the moment, the BJP seems to be riding on a wave which clearly seems to be going in its favor.
Absolutely.
But Karnataka, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh may be a different kettle altogether.
In fact, we did earlier speak with somebody who was caught up in that wave itself, somebody who was left, let's say, gasping for air after the BJP rolled through Uttar Pradesh. I'm talking about none other than Akhilesh Yadav, the president of the Samajwadi Party. He spoke with us a little while earlier. Listen in to what he had to say.
सबसे बड़ा सवाल ये है, अगर जमीन की नाराजगी वोट में नहीं बदल रही है, मैं खुद गया था, बहुत ज्यादा गुजरात में नहीं घूमा, लेकिन सौराष्ट्र के कुछ हिस्सों में मैं गया, मैंने मूंगफली पैदा करने वाले किसानों से बात की, वो नाराज थे, उन्हें कीमत मूंगफली की नहीं मिल रही थी। कपास के किसान दुखी थे क्योंकि उन्हें जो कीमत मिलनी चाहिए वो नहीं मिल रही थी। नौकरी और रोजगार के सवाल सबने टीवी पर देखे हैं, और आरक्षण का जो बड़ा सवाल था जिससे लोग सड़कों पर निकल करके आए, उन्होंने अपनी नाराजगी दिखाई है। और वहीं व्यापारियों ने जो सूरत में करके दिखाया, और जगह जगह पर जो जीएसटी और नोटबंदी का जो असर था, मैं ये कह सकता हूं अगर नाराजगी वोट में नहीं बदल रही है तो कहीं ना कहीं हम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोगों को सोचना चाहिए कि आखिरकार जीत के लिए आपको करना क्या है। एक बात मैं कह सकता हूं, परिणाम के बाद, चुनाव प्रचार के बाद बीजेपी की जो ताकत है वो लोगों को बहकाने की है, लोगों को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करने की ताकत अगर किसी में है तो वो बीजेपी में है। मैं एक बार ये स्वीकार करता हूं कि मशीन ठीक है, मशीन से वोट अच्छा पड़ता है, लेकिन कभी कभी मशीन पर शिकायत आती है, और शिकायत ये आती है कि मशीन खराब है। इलेक्शन कमीशन ये कहता है कि मशीन खराब होने के बाद हम इसकी कैलिब्रेशन ठीक कर देते हैं, मशीन को ठीक कर देते हैं। एक बार तो इलेक्शन कमीशन ने यह भी कहा कि आप लोग एक्सपर्ट लेकर के आओ और हमें खराब करके दिखाओ, वोट किसी भी दल में डाल के दिखाओ। हमारा केवल इतना सवाल है कि अगर मशीन खराब होती है और मशीन ठीक की जाती है, आखिरकार उस मशीन में ठीक क्या किया जाता है। हम एज ए पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जानना चाहते हैं कि मशीन खराब होने के बाद उसमें क्या ठीक होता है, और क्या गारंटी है ठीक होने वाली मशीन कभी खराब नहीं की जा सकती।